I'm Peg Sandine. I'm the CEO of Death with Dignity, and this is really my favorite time of year. I am so energized by the opportunities in the legislative arena around the country, and I relish the opportunity, Selena gave a nod to this, I relish the opportunity to talk about death and dying and the policymaking process. So that's what we're going to do today. The first thing I want to talk about is the shifts that I have seen. And there's really two notable shifts. The first is the sheer number of states considering death with dignity. We have 3 states, 3 important high population states where we can actually see a glimmer of a pathway to the governor's desk. And that's so rewarding. That's so rewarding for the work that we have done at Death with Dignity and for you who have been working on the ground year on year to make this happen, that we actually have 3 states in one session that are poised to be very successful in the legislative arena. 18 states are really grappling with death with dignity this year in some way, and that's so very exciting and compelling for all of us. I do want to talk about those 3 priority states just a bit, and those 3 priority states, again, are New York, Maryland, and Massachusetts. And the reason why those are priority states, again, high population states, so impact a lot of people, states that are known for a history of healthcare policy making, so leaders in healthcare policy, and also states where we are just very close to reaching the governor. So those are why those are the 3 priority states for our movement. And I know if you live in one of those states that's not those 3, that can be really difficult and frustrating for you. But what we're doing on the ground in your state today helps get to this list, helps get to the priority list when we get the foundations laid in place. So in New York, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Albany and I met with the new Senate sponsor, Senator Brad Hoylman-Sigal, and he is very excited to be carrying the mantle of this bill and really wants to push this bill to the governor's desk. I also met with Assemblymember Reyes, who is a nurse, and we had a very long conversation, and she understands deeply the issues of patient suffering and the way that Death with Dignity can support terminally ill patients. And she is very excited about helping move this bill forward. Next week in Maryland, there's 2 hearings on this piece of legislation, and I'll be traveling to Maryland to provide testimony, and I'll be working very closely with our coalition partners. One of the coalition partners is Marylanders for End-of-Life Options, who have just been doing tremendous work on the ground. And I would say that our other national colleagues, Compassion and Choices, have also been doing tremendous work on the ground. So the 3 of us are going to join together hand in hand to bring this bill to the governor's desk. And Governor Wes Moore in Maryland has already said that he endorses this piece of legislation. And then finally, the other priority state is Massachusetts. We have seen a tremendous push. We have a governor, like in Maryland, we have a governor, Maura Healey, who is asking for this bill to be brought to her desk. And don't be disheartened by the fact that Massachusetts hasn't introduced yet. It will. And we will be there. Everything is in place and ready to push that bill forward very hard in Massachusetts this year. And I just have to note that our opponents remain the same. They use the same slippery slope arguments that were ineffective in Oregon 30 years ago today and are equally ineffective and tired today. So I am pleased to be the movement that is maturing and growing with all of you. And I have an ask of you tonight. And before I do that ask, I want to acknowledge that it's a hard one. And so I hope that you'll listen very carefully and consider what I have to say. Our movement moves forward with storytellers. And so we need you to share your story with us. I know personally how very difficult that can be. I recently did a retelling of my husband's story that we had published nationally. And in that process, it was hard. That grief came flooding back. It led me to conversations with my family. And so it was very difficult, even though John died 30 years ago today. 30 years ago this year. So I really understand how difficult the storytelling process can be to share. But with that, I understand its power. John's story creates meaning because it creates policy change. And I know that your story has the ability to create that type of policy change. So I'm hopeful that you're willing to share your story with us, work with our storytellers who are compassionate and knowledgeable and can help your story become the catalyst to create policy change in your state.